Hello, and a lovely warm welcome to this week's episode of Honest Conversations with Esther. I'm Esther. This week's episode is being hosted on my lawn, otherwise known as Pakapinga. I just really like the setting out here. And with me, as usual, I have my trusty notebook, or two or three of them. People who know me will tell you I like to write, and that's for one simple reason, that the faintest ink is better than the brightest memory. Because sometimes your memories are distorted. Over time, you don't remember things exactly the way they happened. But how you wrote something is exactly how that information is going to remain. So generally, I'm a big fan of writing things. If I haven't already said it to you, Happy New Year. I'm so glad we made it thus far, and I'm really looking forward to what 2022 is going to be like. I always like to say that the only things that you're going to find in the new year are the ones that you're going to work for. So, in the other episodes, we're talking about low self esteem, what it feels like to have low self esteem, some of the causes, some of the signs and symptoms. And after this video, or perhaps even before, you could go back to that one and watch them. And when they're done, or you're done with watching those ones, you can come and watch this one as well. So, in this week's episode, I want to talk about something upbeat as we start the year, and that's building confidence, how to build confidence. And I'll talk about a lot of personal examples and things generally that I've done that have helped me to build confidence over the years. So, the first one I'll go for is affirmations. I know there's a school of thought that generally people who are confident don't stand in the mirror telling themselves, oh, I'm confident, I'm beautiful, I'm powerful. And though that may be true, I've seen affirmations work in my own life because I see affirmations as a chance for me to remind myself of the value systems of what a confident person should be like. And whether we like it or not, there's someone who's always going to say something negative to you. You know, who the hell does she think she is? So I'm more deliberate about saying positive things to myself. And every day I'm reminded of what I want to be like. And also, I embody the identity of a person who actually is confident. So I say to myself things like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm powerful, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent. I bring value to every circle that I enter. I can do this, I've got it, and God's got my back. So I say things like that to myself every day. I'm generous, I'm kind, I'm prosperous, I'm successful. I remind myself of things that would embody a confident person in my life every single day over and over. And I think it's really helped me to build confidence because when I'm digressing and I'm acting in ways which are not consistent with the value system that I'd like to embody. Sorry, I was started. I'm out on the lawn and there's a million and one things here. There's ants, there's lizards, there's mice, but I really like it out here because of, I'm sure you can see from the background, the trees and just how ambient it is out here. So, affirmations, that's the first one. Number two is to let your fears push you from behind. So, back in 2015, 16, about there, I had graduated from college. I was broke, unemployed, and then my side hustle at the time was something that had to do with me being a student on campus. My primary customers were students. I was selling lingerie, I was selling bath salts and body washes. And because I was no longer with my customers, it became a bit difficult. So I started to look for a job. I applied for a job at a place called Elunda Park, a company that worked there, that had offices there. So this is an office building that's very posh. For those who are not in Zambia, you can look up Elunda Park. So it's posh. The people that work there are in good companies that pay well. So naturally, I started to think to myself, the moment I walk in this building, these people will be able to see that I look as broke as I am. And what makes it even worse is that as I was going there, I had 20 kwacha. Back in the day, 20 kwacha was the equivalent of about $2. So 20 kwacha could get me to the closest bus station that's closest to there. And two, it was a two-way trip. So if I wanted anything like water, I'd have to choose in between walking and buying a bottle of water. So that's how broke I was. I had to choose between walking and buying a bottle of water. So I decided, you know what? I'll take the bus to the closest bus stop. Although it would have been cheap, it would have been more convenient for me to take the taxi, but I didn't have money for it. So I told myself I'll take a bus to the closest bus station. So I take the bus and stop at the closest bus station, and I've carried water from home in a sports bottle. And I'm walking to the building. I've carried a cloth called a mileage reducer. So basically, mileage reducer is not an official word, but it's a cloth you carry in your handbag so you can wipe the dust off your shoes before you enter a building. So I've carried my mileage reducer. I'm wearing this pair of black pumps. Guys, these shoes were finished. In fact, if there's something that's been completely finished, it was those shoes. You know where the shoe even starts to slant from from the sides because you walked in it so much. So as I'm walking into this building, I'm having all sorts of imaginary fears. These people can tell that I'm broke. I'm going to walk in here and the guard's going to ask me, what are you even doing here? But I told myself, you know what? These fears are imaginary. And I walked into the building, I dropped the application letter, and somehow, I don't even think the people in that building noticed anything. It was just natural. They're going about their business, they were nice and welcoming. But just doing that, made me face other things which I was afraid of. So let your fears push you from behind. I didn't get the job. Obviously, it's for other reasons, but I'm glad that I went for it, because walking into such a building was going to be something that was going to intimidate me forever if I didn't take the choice or the chance to finally do it. So number 3 in building confidence is watching your associations. Avoid Debbie Downers at all costs. People always talking about failures, about negative things, not just talking down on you, but also talking down on life in general, having something negative to say about other people. Generally, these people will cause you to lack confidence in yourself because they're telling you can't do it, or even before you table an idea with them, they're already you've heard them talk down on other people's ideas, so naturally you're not going to share information with them. So avoid Debbie Downers, avoid people who lack confidence themselves if they project that energy of draining you, because we don't need that in the new year. And I focus so much on associations, in the sense that if you're around people who are confident, subconsciously you start to pick up their traits and their habits, and without realizing, you actually start to build confidence in yourself as well. So number 4 is to stop building confidence on things that you don't have control over, or things that you cannot change. So it's building confidence based on other people's opinions. You can't change another person's opinion of you. You really can't change an opinion of you, and you can't really tell how much they like you. So you always be working for something imaginary that you can't even measure, to say, this is how much this person likes me. To stop building confidence on things like material things. There'll always be a bigger dog, someone with a better car, someone with a bigger house. So you'll be exhausted in this rat race. And the problem with winning a rat race is, guess what? You're a rat. And who wants to be a rat anyway? So build confidence on things that are internal, on the knowledge that you're worthy, that you're a good person, on good values such as being honest, having integrity, working hard. The next one is to accomplish things. You build confidence in yourself when you accomplish things. So it's little things. It doesn't have to be too big. When you stand up for yourself to someone who talks down on you, when you take that application letter to a Lunda Park with your dusty shoes and saying, this is who I am, this is me, and I want to try this out, you build confidence by doing such things. So the next one is stop putting off actions to do things that you're afraid of, because the longer you take, the longer the fear brews in your mind. And really, we suffer more from our imagination than we suffer from the reality of something actually being difficult. So when you actually do something, you realize, you know what, all the fears I was imagining were actually worse than how the situation has gone. The next step is to take responsibility for your life. So there's this idea that once you take responsibility for your life, you're admitting that everything is your fault. Let's face it, life happens, things happen to us, and you have no control over what's going to happen to you. But what you do have control over, and what you do have responsibility over, is how you respond. So control as much of the situation as you can, because lack of confidence in many cases comes from a feeling of powerlessness. There are many things that will happen in life that you don't have control over. An economic crisis, the weather, but there are things that you do have control over. One, how you allow people to speak to speak about you. Two, how whether or not you stick to your diet plan. And those things, if you can control them, please take control. And over time, small accomplishments and achievements actually help to build you into a confident person, because not only are you standing in your mirror saying affirmations, but you're acting consistent with the identity of a person who embodies confidence. So this is all I had for you in this week's episode of Honest Conversations with Esther. Let's get talking, let's get interactive. If you'd like to reach me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is Esther underscore Miss Hills. So that's Esther, ASTAR, underscore Miss, MIS, Hills, HILLS. So if you haven't yet subscribed, join the conversation, subscribe to this channel, like, share, comment. Let me know down below some of the ways in which you build confidence and how you struggled with confidence in the past. If you have a personal story that can impact someone out there, it doesn't have to be like my Eludepak story. It can be how you faced a bully, how you talked to that woman who you found intimidating, just anything to help someone out there build confidence. So this is all I had for you in this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your openness. Happy New Year again.